But the heavy world and the Juggernaut are just the entry point. The scout moves deeper into the woods, the air gets thicker, the shadows start to shift, and we enter the domain of the 90%.
This part hit me the hardest. They're shuffling around like insects, dragging unseen burdens, whispering these inaudible prayers or regrets, it feels like. Have you ever been in a crowd of commuters where everyone just looks defeated?
It's the gray zone. It's not the sharp terror of the Juggernaut, it's the dull ache of hopelessness. The text says they are broken echoes of what humans could become if hope vanished. They're stuck in a loop. I can't fix this, I shouldn't have done that, it's too late. Just cycling that over and over.
Okay, so with the Juggernaut, the strategy was don't engage. But
Yeah.
here, the scout changes tactics. They don't hide. They become a lighthouse beam.
This is a crucial pivot in the mission. You can't ignore despair, you have to address it, but you can't fight it with force. You can't just grab one of these lost souls and shake them and scream, "Be happy."
Right, that never works. So the scout whispers.
They whisper stories of heartbreak, sure, but also of love, of connection. The text says the scout tries to disturb the currents of despair.
There, you are not trapped forever. That's the line. The hell you live in now is not the end of your soul.
It's a transmission from a different frequency. The 90% are stuck on a channel that only plays static. The scout comes in and broadcasts a little bit of music.
And I appreciate that the result is realistic. It's not some Disney movie where everyone suddenly breaks into song and dance.
No.
The text says the reaction is subtle. Shoulders lifted, eyes lingered.
Posture softened.
Yeah.
That realism is why I trust this text.
Hmm.
In the depths of depression or grief, you don't get cured instantly, but you might get a moment where the weight lifts just enough to look up.
Yeah.
The scout provides a glimpse of a path upward. The insight is that compassion, just witnessing someone's pain and telling them it's not permanent, can awaken hope.
So we've survived the crushing weight of the juggernauts. We've navigated the swamp of despair with the 90%. You'd think the woods would run out of tricks. But then the vibe shifts again. It doesn't get chaotic. It gets stiff.
Enter the mousy guards.
Which, by the way, is a terrible name for them because they are not mousy in the way I think of it. I'm thinking of a little scared mouse.
No, not at all.
These things are tall, precise, calculating.
Think systems. Think bureaucracy. Think rigid order. If the 90% are the chaos of despair, the mousy guards are the cage that keeps them there.
They're the enforcers.
They are the enforcers. The text says they exist to maintain order in the chaos.
They scan the scout. They assess. And usually in a story like this is where you sneak around the guards, right? Or you fight the police.
Exactly, you overthrow the system.
Yeah.
But the scout does something that I think is the most radical move in the whole journey. Instead of hiding or fighting,
They walk right up to the guard
walks right up.
and hangs out. The scout shares stories. They laugh.
Laughter is the ultimate weapon here. Because the system, the mousy guard, is built on control and fear. It understands threats. It understands obedience. It does not understand joy.
And look at the reaction. The guard stiffens, then trembles, then softens.
It creates a glitch in the matrix. The text says, even those bound to enforce fear could be touched by empathy. The scout realizes that even the enforcers are just entities trapped in their own role.
It humanizes the system, which is so hard to do. When you're up against a wall of no, or a rigid authority figure, your instinct is to push back. The scout says, no, I'm going to connect with you.
And that connection dissolves the rigidity. It shows that empathy isn't just for the victims, the 90%, it's for the wardens too.
So we've handled force, despair, and order, but the map has one last territory, and honestly, this one feels the most personal to me. The environment changes, the pressure lifts, we enter the lobby.
The lobby, a lighter space,
Yeah.
but it's not peaceful. It's described as having subtle chaos. It's teasing.
And this is where we meet the jokesters.
Teens in form, but timeless. These are monsters. They're trolls. They are archetypal tricksters.
And they sound infinitely annoying. They're moving bags, they're leaving doors open, they're committing imaginary theft.
Testing my ego, my attachment, my focus. That's the key. The Juggernaut tests your courage. The jokesters test your ego.
And the scout, who has survived monsters and despair, totally fails this test at first.
Oh yeah, completely.
They start arguing with the jokesters. Hey, I need that money. That object is important.
It's so relatable. You lose your keys, or someone cuts you off in traffic, or the Wi-Fi goes down and you get furious. You start negotiating with reality. This shouldn't be happening to me.
And the text says, every attempt to negotiate or explain only fed their game.
Of course, because the jokesters run on attachment. They are demonstrating that your peace of mind is entirely dependent on things going your way. As long as you're arguing with the illusion owns you.
So how do you beat a prankster god?
You stop playing.
The scout has this epiphany. They just stop. They look at the stolen item or the chaos and say, "Take it. I don't need it."
Total detachment.
And what happens?
Instantly, the edge of their energy softened. The hook vanished.
Because the hook was the attachment. If you don't care about the outcome, the trickster has no leverage. The lesson here is detachment disarms illusions.
It's the ultimate so what?
It is. It's spiritual maturity. Look at the progression we've just walked through. The scout conquers fear, the juggernaut with presence, despair, the 90% with compassion, control, the mousy guards with empathy, and finally, ego, the jokesters, with surrender.
It's a complete map.
It's a map of how to grow up, spiritually speaking.
But, and this is a massive but, we have to circle back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Because there is a danger in detachment, right? If you just say, I don't need it to everything, you turn into a nihilist. You just float away.
Exactly. And that is why Jinx is not just a cute addition to the story. He is the structural integrity of the entire journey.
The text says something incredible here. Physics itself refused to break it, referring to the bond with Jinx.
Yes. Even when the scout is detaching from money or safety or order in the lobby, the connection to Jinx remains. Even the juggernauts could not harm him. Even the jokesters could not breach the bond.
This is the synthesis of the whole deep dive. Why could nothing break that bond? Because the text is arguing that love is a frequency higher than any of the others.
Wow.
It's a fundamental law.
So the heavy gravity of depression can't crush it. The chaos of the ego can't trick it.
Right. The connection to Jinx is immutable. It's the anchor. And this answers the problem of detachment. You can only afford to let go of the lobby, the petty stuff, the ego stuff, if you are securely tethered to something real.
If you aren't tethered, you drift. If you are tethered, you can explore.
Exactly. The scout can walk through hell because they know the way home. They use the memory of Jinx, that pure, unconditional love, to survive when that lungful of water feeling tries to drown them. The ground cannot be stolen.
So bringing this all together, the scout's mission, we said at the start they aren't a conqueror.
The text is explicit. I was not here to fight, not to conquer, not to tame. The mission is to witness and to model.
To show that another frequency is possible.
Yes. To stand in the middle of the 90% and show them, just by your existence, that you don't have to be trapped in the loop. To stand in front of a juggernaut and show that you don't have to be afraid.
To stand before the jokesters and show you don't have to be attached.
It's leading by example in the most metaphysical way possible. It's broadcasting a signal. If you are the one calm person in a room full of panic, you change the room. That is what the scout is doing.
Broadcasting a signal of hope, love, and choice into a world of static.
Exactly.
So what does this mean for us? Because I don't think any of you listening are planning a trip to a supernatural forest this weekend. But reading this,
That's so.
it feels like I've been there.
That's the point. The scout's journey isn't fantasy. It's a mirror. We all have juggernauts, those looming anxieties that freeze us up. We all have inner jokesters, the distractions and ego traps that bait us.
Mm-hmm.
And we've all felt like the 90% at some point caught in the loop of what if and if only.
And the scout gives us the playbook. The way out isn't fighting harder, it's shifting frequency.
It's changing how you relate to the experience.
Yeah.
Moving from reaction to presence, from judgment to empathy, from attachment to surrender.
And finding your anchor.
That is the non-negotiable part. You cannot do this work alone. You need your Jinx.
Which leaves us with the big question for today. If Jinx represents that immutable connection, that love that physics itself cannot break, what is your Jinx?
What is the one thing in your life that remains untouchable when the heavy world closes in?
Is it a person? Is it a memory? Is it a belief system? Because according to this map, that anchor is the only thing that keeps you from drifting away into the frequencies.
And it's the only thing that ensures you come back whole.
It's a beautiful, terrifying, wonderful map, the scout's journey.
I'll definitely be looking at my own juggernauts a little differently this week.
And I'm going to stop arguing with the jokesters when I can't find my keys. Take 'em, universe. I don't need 'em.
That's the spirit.
Thanks for diving in with us, everyone. Find your anchor, hold on tight, and we'll see you in the next deep dive.